Life is a constant battle, not just with the world, not just with your circumstances, but with yourself. The greatest war you will ever fight is the one between your mind and your emotions, between your vision and your fears, between the part of you that wants to push forward and the part of you that wants to give in. You see, in every competition, every challenge, every struggle, there's a moment, an invisible moment when one side is about to break. It happens in sports, in business, in relationships, in personal growth. Two forces collide, two competitors go head to head, two minds face off in a battle of endurance. And in that moment, the one who holds out longer, the one who withstands the pressure, the one who refuses to break, wins. This is where most people fail. They think success is about skill, about talent, about intelligence. And yes, those things matter, but they are nothing compared to the power of sheer, relentless willpower. The ability to endure when everything inside of you is screaming for you to stop. The ability to keep pushing when doubt creeps in, when fear whispers in your ear, when every muscle in your body, every thought in your mind is telling you to quit. Most people have a breaking point. And those who succeed, they either don't have one or they refuse to acknowledge it. They understand that the game isn't always about speed or strength. It's about staying power. Think about the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the legends who changed the world. Were they always the most talented? No. But they were the ones who refused to back down. They were the ones who stayed in the game long after everyone else quit. They were the ones who faced adversity head on, took the hits, endured the pain, and kept moving forward. Willpower is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the thing that keeps you going when results aren't showing yet, when progress feels slow, when you're exhausted, frustrated, and unsure of yourself. Because here's the truth. Every challenge, every obstacle, every difficult moment is a test of your endurance, a test of your commitment, a test to see if you really want what you say you want. And here's the scary part. Something, someone is always watching. Life is watching. Your competition is watching. Your own subconscious mind is watching. And they're all waiting for you to break. They're waiting for you to give in, to hesitate, to second guess yourself. Because the second you do, the second you let weakness take over, you lose. This is why you have to train yourself, condition yourself to become mentally unbreakable. It's not just about working hard. It's about working hard when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up when your body is exhausted, when your mind is tired, when every excuse is available to you, but you refuse to take it. Most people think willpower is just about saying no to distractions, about resisting temptation, but it's so much more than that. Willpower is about saying yes to discomfort, saying yes to struggle, saying yes to the pain that comes with growth. Because here's what separates the strong from the weak. The weak avoid pain, the strong embrace it. The weak run from pressure, the strong thrive under it. The weak quit when things get hard, the strong dig in even deeper. And let me tell you something, your moment is coming. The moment where you will be tested, the moment where life will push you to your limits and whisper, let's see what you're really made of. In that moment, you will feel it. The discomfort, the exhaustion, the voice in your head that tells you, maybe this isn't for me. That moment right there is where winners are made. The average person will give in. The average person will justify their failure. The average person will tell themselves, I tried. But you are not average. You are built differently. And the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is your ability to outlast the challenge in front of you. So, when the pressure rises, when the resistance gets stronger, when the battle feels endless, remember, this is where the weak fall, this is where the strong rise. Willpower isn't just about lasting longer than the challenge. It's about understanding that the challenge was designed to see if you're worthy of what's on the other side. Your mind is your greatest weapon, your greatest ally, and if you're not careful, your greatest enemy. It is the control center of your life, the operating system that dictates every decision you make, every emotion you feel, and every action you take. Most people walk around completely unaware of the fact that their mindset is the only thing standing between them and the life they want. You see, success isn't just about working harder. It's about thinking differently. It's about mastering the conversation inside your own head, because that's where every battle is won or lost before you even take action. Every limitation, every excuse, every reason you tell yourself that something isn't possible, it's all happening in your mind. And the problem? Most people don't even realize they're being controlled by it. Your mind is constantly feeding you thoughts. Some are empowering, but most are limiting. Most are filled with fear, doubt, hesitation, and if you don't take control of that, if you don't reprogram the way you think, you will always live beneath your potential. You will always be a prisoner to your own mental conditioning. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to go after something? Whether it was a business idea, a personal goal, or a new challenge, but your mind started working against you. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What will people think? That voice inside your head, that constant chatter. It's not you. It's your conditioning. It's the programming that has been built over years of fear, doubt, and past experiences. It's the accumulation of every time you were told you couldn't do something. Every time you saw someone else fail. Every time you convinced yourself that playing small was safer than taking a risk. But here's the truth. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it over and over again. If you tell yourself you're weak, you will be weak. If you tell yourself you're not good enough, you will never be good enough. If you tell yourself that success is impossible, you will never achieve it. Your thoughts shape your reality, not in some magical wishful thinking kind of way, but in a real, tangible way. Because what you believe influences how you feel, and how you feel determines what actions you take. And the actions you take create the results you see in your life. So if you want to change your life, you don't start with your actions, you start with your mindset. You start by rewiring the way you think, by training your mind to work for you instead of against you. The first step is awareness. You have to become conscious of the thoughts running through your head every single day. Pay attention to them. Listen to the way you talk to yourself. Are your thoughts empowering you or holding you back? Are they filled with strength and certainty or fear and hesitation? Most people don't even realize how negative their thinking is because it's been on autopilot for years. But once you become aware of it, once you catch yourself every time your mind tries to limit you, that's when you take back control. The second step is replacing those limiting thoughts with empowering ones. This isn't about fake positivity. This is about training yourself to think like a winner, to think like someone who refuses to be defeated. Because here's the thing. Your mind will always look for proof to validate whatever you believe. If you believe you're not good enough, you will find reasons to confirm it. If you believe success is impossible, your brain will filter out every opportunity and only show you obstacles. But if you start telling yourself, I am strong, I am capable, I can figure this out, your mind will start looking for proof of that instead. It will start finding ways to make it true. It will start opening doors that you never saw before, because your brain is designed to focus on whatever you tell it to focus on. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they never had doubts? Do you think they never had fears? Of course they did. The difference is they trained their minds to overpower those fears. They trained themselves to focus on solutions instead of problems. The third step is conditioning. Mindset isn't something you change once and then forget about. It's something you have to reinforce every single day, because just like a muscle, if you don't use it, it weakens. Every day you have to feed your mind with the right information. You have to surround yourself with people who think bigger, who challenge you, who inspire you to level up. You have to read, listen, learn, and constantly remind yourself of who you are becoming. Because the world is full of negativity. It's full of people who will try to bring you down, who will project their own fears onto you. If you don't actively strengthen your mindset, the outside world will do it for you, and not in a good way. You are in control. You are the one who decides what to believe. You are the one who determines how you respond to challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. The only thing stopping you from reaching the next level isn't your ability, it's your mindset. And the moment you take control of it, everything changes. Every single person who has ever chased a dream, every person who has ever stepped into the arena of life and dared to push themselves beyond their comfort zone has encountered a moment where they felt the pull of weakness. It's that moment when things get hard, when exhaustion sets in, when the pressure feels unbearable, and your mind starts whispering the most dangerous words. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe this isn't meant for me. Maybe I'm not strong enough. And right there in that split second, a decision is made. Some people give in. They convince themselves that it's okay to quit, that backing down isn't really quitting, that stopping now doesn't mean they failed. But what they don't realize is that they just fell into the trap of weakness. You see, weakness isn't something that just happens. It's not something you're born with. Weakness is a decision, a choice, a habit. And the moment you let it take control, even just once, it starts to define you. Here's the scary truth. Weakness is always looking for an opening. It's always waiting for that one moment when you hesitate, when you second guess yourself, when you start to entertain the idea of stopping, because the second you do, it has you. Weakness is a master manipulator. It doesn't come at you head on. It sneaks in through the back door, disguised as logic, as reason, as a valid excuse. It tells you that you've done enough, that you deserve a break, that it's okay to slow down. It convinces you that no one will blame you if you quit, that no one will even notice. But here's what you have to understand. Weakness doesn't want to just stop you in this one moment. It wants to control you for life. Because once you allow it in, once you surrender to it even once, it becomes easier to do it again and again and again. Until one day you look back at your life and realize that every single time you had the chance to step up, you chose to step back instead. The trap of weakness is designed to break you, and the worst part, most people don't even realize they've fallen into it until it's too late. Until they've spent years settling for less, years making excuses, years justifying why they never became who they were meant to be. You have to recognize the moment before it happens. You have to be able to see weakness coming before it grabs hold of you, because once it does, once it wraps itself around your mind, it takes everything. It steals your potential. It steals your confidence. It steals your future. And it always starts the same way, with a little voice in your head trying to convince you to take the easy way out. You need to train yourself to fight back, to shut that voice down before it even has a chance to grow. Because here's the truth. Every single person who has ever accomplished anything great has had that same voice. The difference is they didn't listen. They didn't fall for the trap. They didn't allow weakness to win. Think about the people who inspire you, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the legends who built empires, the warriors who refused to back down. Do you think they never felt tired, never felt discouraged, never wanted to quit? Of course they did. But when that moment came, when the trap of weakness tried to take them down, they made a different choice. They chose strength over comfort. They chose resilience over excuses. They chose to keep going when everything in them was telling them to stop. And that's the only difference between them and the people who never make it. Weakness is an illusion. It's not real unless you believe it is. It's not permanent unless you allow it to be. And the way to break free from it, you stop entertaining the idea of quitting. You stop giving yourself an out. You stop looking for ways to make things easier and instead look for ways to make yourself stronger. Because that's what weakness hates the most. It hates when you push back. It hates when you refuse to give in. It hates when you recognize it for what it is and choose to rise above it. There will be moments where it feels impossible, where the pressure is overwhelming, where your mind and body are screaming at you to stop. But you have to understand that moment is not there to break you. It is there to test you to see if you're strong enough, to see if you really want it. And the ones who pass that test, the ones who stand tall in the face of weakness and say, not today, they are the ones who win. There is one undeniable truth in life. Those who persist, who refuse to back down, who keep going no matter how many times they fail, who rise every time they fall, are the ones who ultimately win. It's not the smartest person who succeeds. It's not the most talented. It's not the one who had the best circumstances. It's the one who simply refused to quit. The one who got knocked down and stood up again. The one who hit a wall and found a way through it. The one who saw obstacles not as stop signs, but as stepping stones. The world doesn't give victory to the person who had the best start. It gives victory to the person who had the guts to finish. Every person who has ever accomplished something great has had moments where they wanted to quit. Moments where doubt crept in. Moments where they questioned whether they were wasting their time, whether all the effort was even worth it. But they kept going. They pushed forward. They persisted. And that's what made the difference. Because here's what most people don't realize. Persistence is a skill, something you build. It's something you train yourself to have. Most people are conditioned to stop when things get hard. When they don't see results right away, they assume it's not working. When they hit a roadblock, they assume it's a sign to turn back. They think success should come easy, and when it doesn't, they walk away. But the ones who understand the power of persistence, they see things differently. They know that setbacks are part of the process. They know that every failure, every mistake, every painful moment is just another test. A test to see how bad they want it. A test to see if they have the resilience to push through. And let me tell you something. Most people fail that test. They give up just before the breakthrough. They stop digging right before they hit gold. They quit when they're just inches away from success. And the ones who keep going, they reap all the rewards. Because persistence isn't just about working hard. It's about working hard when it feels like nothing is working. It's about staying in the fight when you're bruised, battered, and exhausted. It's about showing up every single day, even when motivation is gone, even when doubt is screaming in your ear, even when every part of you is telling you to walk away. And that's why most people don't make it, because persistence is painful, it's uncomfortable. It demands more from you than you ever thought you had to give. But that's also why it's so powerful. Because the longer you persist, the stronger you become. The longer you refuse to quit, the more unstoppable you become. Every time you push through resistance, you build a new level of resilience. Every time you refuse to give up, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstance. And here's the thing, persistence compounds. The longer you stay in the game, the more experience you gain, the more skills you develop, the more confidence you build. Most people expect results overnight. They want instant gratification. They want to put in a little effort and see a big reward. But success doesn't work like that. Success belongs to those who can play the long game. Those who can keep going when the results are slow, when progress is invisible, when it feels like nothing is happening. Because persistence is like planting seeds. You put in the work today, and for a while it looks like nothing is happening. You water the seeds, you take care of them, but there's no visible sign of growth. And that's where most people quit. They assume their efforts aren't working because they can't see the results yet. But what they don't realize is that the growth is happening beneath the surface. The foundation is being built. The roots are spreading, and if they had just held on a little longer, if they had just kept pushing, they would have seen the breakthrough. This is why persistence is the ultimate test. It separates those who truly want it from those who only kind of want it. Because anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can be motivated for a week. But can you keep going when it takes months, years? Can you keep pushing forward when you don't know exactly how close you are to the finish line? That's what defines a winner. Because there is one universal truth about life. Quitting guarantees failure, but persistence guarantees progress. Maybe not overnight, maybe not as fast as you want, but every single time you refuse to quit, you move closer to your goal, and that is what makes persistence the ultimate weapon. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how long it takes. If you refuse to give up, you cannot lose.